I noticed the smell first. Not decay, not neglect. Lemon polish. Too much of it. The kind used when someone wants a place to look expensive rather than lived in. The house stood exactly as it had in the listing photos years ago. Arched windows, stone facade, the driveway wide enough to signal stability. I had bought it from another country, wiring money across time zones while telling myself I was building something permanent for my mother. A place where she would never worry about rent again. A place that said, "You're safe now." My brother had offered to stay temporarily to help her adjust. That was 3 years ago. When I opened the door with my key, the first thing that felt wrong was the silence. Not peaceful silence, careful silence. Like the house was holding its breath. Then I saw her. She was wiping down the dining table. Slowly, methodically, wearing an apron I'd never seen before. She looked smaller. "Excuse me," she said softly when she noticed me. Polite, cautious. "Can I help you?" The question did not land all at once. It pressed in gradually, like cold water through fabric. "It's me," I said. She studied my face the way you examine a distant relative at a wedding, searching for a name tag. "I'm sorry," she said after a moment. "Are you here to see my son?" "My son." I swallowed. "Which one?" "The owner," she said, almost proudly. "The owner." I didn't correct her. I couldn't. Not yet. My brother came down the stairs as if summoned by discomfort. He stopped short when he saw me, but recovered quickly. "You could have told me you were coming," he said. Mild irritation, no surprise. "I wanted to see things as they are." He smiled at that. And. I looked at my mother again. She had already returned to wiping the table. "She likes keeping busy," he said casually. "It helps her memory." "What memory?" I asked. He exhaled like I was being dramatic. "She's forgetful. Doctor says early stage cognitive decline, nothing extreme. She still recognizes me." Of course she did. I walked through the house slowly after that. My old bedroom had been converted into a home office. The master suite, where I'd imagined my mother waking to sunlight through the tall windows, was clearly my brother's. Her room was at the back. Smaller. Functional. Neat. A single bed. In the kitchen, I opened drawers out of habit. The silverware set I bought was gone. Replaced. Cheaper. Bills sat stacked near the fridge, utilities redirected into my brother's name. Insurance documents listed him as primary resident, maintenance receipts signed by him. Nothing illegal. Just layered. Gradual. Calculated. "She insisted I handle things," he said when he saw me holding the paperwork. "You were overseas." Someone had to step up. "Step up," I repeated. "You send money," he added, shrugging. "But you're not here." That part landed. He wasn't entirely wrong. I had told myself distance was sacrifice. That financial provision equaled protection. I had believed ownership meant control, but absence creates space, and someone always fills space. That evening my mother sat across from me at dinner. She asked polite questions. "Are you married?" "No." "Do you live nearby?" "No." She nodded sympathetically, like I was a guest describing a difficult life. At one point she leaned in slightly and whispered, "My son works very hard to take care of me." I held her gaze. "Does he?" She smiled. "Yes, he lets me help around the house so I don't feel useless." Useless. She had cleaned offices when we were children, saved coins in a tin, refused to replace her own shoes so we could have textbooks, and now she was grateful to be allowed to wipe her own dining table. I did not confront my brother that night. I waited until the house was quiet. Sat in the car in the driveway. Called my lawyer. "I need to review occupancy status," I said. My voice surprised me. "Steady. And initiate a guardianship evaluation." There was a pause on the other end. "Ben, has something changed?" "Yes," I said. "I've seen enough." Over the next 48 hours, paperwork moved faster than emotion. Property deed confirmed solely in my name. No transfer had occurred. My brother's oversight was informal verbal permission, nothing binding. The attorney filed notice to revoke residency privileges. Requested a formal cognitive assessment for my mother through a court-recognized medical evaluator. initiated a temporary financial freeze on accounts associated with the property to prevent asset redirection. No shouting, no threats, just process. The notice arrived on a Tuesday afternoon. My brother read it twice before looking at me. "You're evicting me?" "I'm restructuring care," I said. "She needs me. She needs supervision that isn't conflicted." His composure thinned. "You think I'm exploiting her?" I didn't answer directly. "You live in the master suite." He laughed once, sharp. "You don't understand what it's been like." "You're right," I said. "I don't. That's why this is formal now." The word formal changed the air. He realized this wasn't an argument to win. It was a structure already in motion. Within 2 weeks, an assessor confirmed moderate cognitive decline, enough to justify supervised financial guardianship. I didn't contest my brother's visits. I contested his authority. He moved out before the final date on the notice. There was no dramatic scene, just boxes, tight jaw, avoided eye contact. "You always thought money fixed everything," he said quietly before leaving. "No," I replied. "I thought ownership did." After he left, the house felt larger, emptier, less defensive. Professional in-home care began the following month. A nurse during the day, a coordinator managing appointments. My mother resisted at first, then adapted. She still did not recognize me consistently. Some days she called me by my brother's name. Some days she asked if I was the attorney. Once she took my hand and said, "You remind me of someone." I didn't ask who. Justice, I've learned, is administrative. It is signatures and witness statements. It is certified mail and calm voices in conference rooms. It does not restore memory. It does not rewind absence. It does not make a mother suddenly recognize the child who bought her a house. But she no longer asks permission to sit in her own living room. Her bedroom is now the master suite. The lemon polish scent is gone. Sometimes I walk through the halls at night, listening to the quiet. Not careful quiet, just stillness. I don't feel victorious, I feel present. And for now, that has to be enough.